back. Welcome again to National Federation of the Blind, Genesee County, Flint chapter. Yeah, we're back again, and we have a whole lot of stuff to talk about today. We've had the gala, we've had the STEM program, we've had the real program, we've had a picnic. Oh my goodness, we've had people been down in Texas. Did I miss something? What else was it? Did I say the picnic and everything else? Yeah. Was that everything?
Yeah, there's the picnic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we're headed up right now for the Crim. That's right, the Crim. We're going to be doing a 5K walk. They tried to get me to run, but my knees said no. You might notice we got a lot of people here today. All these people are representing the National Federation of the Blind of Genesee County Flint chapter from the famous, the number one
Alrighty.
Genesee chapter county library. Anyway, so we're gonna start off. Let's see who we got here. Start from the first of the table. Introduce yourself.
Well, hey, folks. My name is Stephen Crouch, and yeah, I've been in the National Federation of the Blind of Michigan Flint Genesee chapter now for quite some time. I've lost track how many or how much, but yeah, man, it's been fun. It has been a very fun summer, and yeah, I've enjoyed it quite much, and I'll enjoy the Crim. So yeah.
Next, Cheryl.
Oh, see, that's what happens when you're blind. You never see what's coming.
Yeah.
But my name's Cheryl. People know me by Trouble.
All right.
Alrighty then. I just got involved, probably really involved last December, but I've been in and out doing different things, with the visually impaired center, with the Federation for the Blind. It's a wonderful organization. Teaches you things, gets you involved in things, gets your lazy butt moving in the club. It just gets you moving, and it also helps people get to know and understand what it is to be visually impaired, blind, the fact that we're not handicapped, we're handicapable. Just give us a chance, we'll show you.
There you go. Hey, we got somebody on Zoom. His name is Atir. He did a lot of work with the STEM program and also the real program. We're going to be talking with him in a couple of minutes. Say hi, Atir.
Hello, everyone. It's great to be back on here.
Hey, sounds good to me. Sean, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Sean Williams, and I have been in the Flint Genesee chapter meetings since Sheila took over a little bit before then, but I've really noticed some great progress since Sheila Fillmore has been president of the Flint chapter. We've really done a lot of cool things, such as the picnic that you'll hear about later, and just all kinds of, just a lot of cool things, and seems like a very short amount of time. And we're just going to keep doing more awesome things.
Keep plugging away.
Keep plugging away.
That's Liz.
That's me. Yes, I'm Liz Jones. I am the Associate Race Director at the Crim Fitness Foundation, and I'm so excited to be here with everyone today. Thank you for inviting me.
We're glad that you were able to be here. Jerry.
I'm Jerry Lejeski, and I am a member of the National Federation of the Blind as a sighted guide and volunteer. I met Sheila last December, and I've been very excited to be so involved in these wonderful things, and especially in the Crim training.
And last but not least, I think that's Nicole down at the very, very, very end.
I'm somewhere down here. Hello, my name is Nicole. I've been a part of the Flint Genesee chapter for a little less than a year. In my short time of being a member, I have experienced a lot of awesome events, such as went down to the national conference and amongst a lot of other things. So I'm looking forward to continuing growing in the federation and
That sounds good. Hey, let's just start off with they had a conference, a national conference down in Texas. I think Atir was there and also Nicole. Tell us about Atir, can you say a few words about the conference real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So the national convention is usually the biggest gathering of blind people all around the world. And it was held in July this year, early July, and it was held in Houston, Texas. Basically, there's a lot of things going on over there. There's breakout sessions for, different companies for the different technologies they sell and the different software they have. There is, the general sessions where policies are decided and resolutions are voted on and things like that. There is, of course, also the banquet, and there is the exhibit hall where hundreds of exhibitors are basically set up in tables at tables in a big gigantic room, selling their products, selling their services, talking about the things that they do, and even offering demonstrations of different products that were on hand at the convention.
Yeah, okay. Nicole, now you were there too, correct?
Yes,
So did you enjoy yourself down there?
oh, I loved it. It was awesome.
So tell me a little bit of highlight of something that you did down that you really enjoyed or something that you learned.
For me, I learned a lot, and along with some of those stuff that Bill just said, for me, it was more personal because I am considered low vision, and so that means I'm not totally blind. I see some, but not as good as the sighted person. So for me, it was just amazing to see all the people that attended and were completely blind, and just how they were able to move around and travel and do things such independently. It was a motivation, and the exhibit hall where they were selling items and presenting demonstrations of items that they have there. That was just to see the blind community doing those things themselves and just being what you would say, quote unquote, normal to people who are sighted. It was highly motivational, and the banquet, it was just presented very well and filled with information, and I got a chance to meet a lot of people who were, some were sighted and some were not sighted, and it was just a lot of motivation.
It sound like you got a lot from that. And I didn't realize that you was low vision.
Yes.
I really didn't. So it really helped you out by being down there.
Yes, it humbled. I mean, I'm already a humble person, but it touched me in a different way because in the sighted world, I feel bad for myself sometimes because it's like I'm not there and I can't see those things. But in the blind world, I'm what some people want to be. And, it really made me appreciate the vision that I have. And it definitely allowed me to gain confidence for where I'm going future-wise, because if people that have lower vision than I have to do it, I know that I can do it and make my future what I want it to be.
So Atir, so this
One
conference.
second, Nicole, can you move to your right a little bit? Yeah, that's good. Okay. Try to stay there.
Atir, so this conference, what she was saying, this is really a good thing for a lot of us to come to, isn't it?
Absolutely. If you haven't been to a convention, I would definitely recommend going. It will teach you a lot of things about yourself. It will teach you a lot of things about the community of people that you are now involved in. It will teach both sighted and blind people alike a lot about, the things that, are done and that can be done and that are being done by blind people. It will, yes, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, one thing that I have gotten or heard from sighted people who have attended the things like the national convention or even state convention, which is coming up in November, is that they end up realizing in a lot of instances that blind people don't need as much help as they sometimes may have perceived that they needed. They end up realizing, when they watch so many blind people do so many things, that they can do things by themselves without sighted assistance.
And that's something that's real important for the blind community. And that's what a lot of National Federation of the Blind does. That's part of our philosophy. We're here to help. We're here to let you know that you can do anything that you want to do. You might need to be trained for it. But we got somebody to train you, to encourage you, to make you feel like you're what I think she said, normal. What is normal? I'm normal. What normal is what you are, we're gonna move on because I really want to talk about we had a program here in Flint, Michigan. It was a real program. Material was a part of that. I think Sean.
Yep.
And Steve.
Correct.
Who else was a part of that in here? Anybody else? Nicole, you was a part of that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Uh-oh, she sound like she did something spectacular there.
Oh,
Yeah, but it was
Everybody there was spectacular. What do you mean?
It was held downtown Flint. Downtown Flint really opened its doors for us. City council, oh my God, it was just unreal. The activities the kids had, the real program. What was the ages for the real?
So the real program's ages were 8 to 13.
And they were able to go down there and build rockets.
They were able to go down there and they were able to kind of try their hands at different experiments. One of them, I guess the most popular one from, how everybody talks about it, is the rocket launch. And I can talk about that a little bit more now. So the rocket launch basically involved, I don't know if some of you, people as old as I am might remember those old containers that you used to put film in.
Yes.
Yeah, those ones. So basically what you would do is you would fill that about halfway with water, a little less, and you would put half of an Alka-Seltzer bottle in a tablet inside of it.
I've done that.
Everybody's getting excited.
Yep.
I've done that. Yep.
And then, you close the lid and you put it on the ground, lid facing down.
Yes.
And then the pressure builds and it launches into the air. And that was the rocket launch that our STEM student, Kalia, got to play around with. And actually, she enjoyed it so much, I ended up finding extra Alka-Seltzer tablets so that she could do the experiment a couple more times.
Now, you said that was part of the real program, correct?
That was a part of so that's the STEM to You track of the real program. Okay. The real program also involved a lot of career building opportunities for our youths. As Steve and Sean, I'm sure, could both attest to. They received a lot of, really valuable talks. There was a etiquette dinner talk given by Pat Love. There was a talk about social media. There were talks about, different steps to take for employment readiness by Robert, by, a whole bunch of the people that were there, Jeff Crouch. And I believe even Sheila did a talk, right, guys?
Yeah,
I believe
so. It was really successful.
Yeah, Sheila did a talk. And then, the icing on the cake was the gala. The gala was great.
Yeah, I tell you, moving too fast.
Oh, I apologize, but we'll get back to that for sure. I have thoughts about the gala, and everybody does.
We're gonna I want to ask Sean a few things. You were at the STEM program, correct?
Yep, definitely.
What did you participate in, and how did you enjoy it?
Well, so I participated in a lot of different things, such as a self-defense class. You're driving my memory. Let's see.
Farmers market.
Oh yeah, thank you. Here, yeah, the farmers market. Sorry, farmers market, which was very, very fun. Oh shoot!
We want to give you a couple of minutes, and I'll get with Steve.
That'd be
here,
good.
And I'm coming right back to you. So write it down.
Sorry about
Okay,
Oh,
no problem. All right. So tell me, how did you enjoy that, and what activity are you get involved in?
oh man, I enjoyed the real scholar track program pretty much.
What is that?
The scholar track program the uh was the uh was the other track. So they had two ones, the CMTU track and the scholar track. The scholar track was for the older individuals that were 14 and over. And so I, in the meanwhile, had a great time with the Scholar Track program. I enjoyed talking about such discussions as the elevator pitch discussions. I enjoyed going out and doing bowling. I enjoyed the Flint Farmers Market, and I'd like to give a shout out to Eddie's Veggies for a minute. They're a local business that sells fruits and vegetables, and yeah, I got to buy a few things from there and got to ask them a lot of questions, which was mandatory, a requirement for us youth to ask, such youth and us adults to ask, since one of the things was self-structured discovery, and to ask them, hey, what is your tip to starting your own business? What is an LLC? Have you had anybody that has a disability employed? And what is your tip of starting up your own business in your own uniqueness, in your own genuine? And so I actually bought a few habaneros and got to eat one of them. Got to eat one after the game. Boy, it was hot. And yeah, I actually got to also eat a raw blue lemon as well. So,
Let me check with Nicole. Nicole, you were there?
so I had fun.
Hmm?
Yes, I was.
What did you participate in?
I participated in the bowling. Farmers market. I participated in all of it.
So, I mean, as a whole, did you get, are you willing to, when we have another one, you want to come back?
Oh, I would love to.
Sean, you too?
Oh, yeah, and really quick, yeah, so I went to the bowling, to the farmer's market. It was just really well structured, and the etiquette dinner, just all kinds of stuff there at the real program, the gala, just I think very well structured. I definitely would like to come back.
Well, so this, when I was down there for a little bit, something, and these things that we're doing is opening doors for a lot of people, because a lot of people have never, especially being blind, and I think I blame a lot of it on the parents. They're afraid to let their kids go out there and explore.
Exactly.
And so when we get a chance to do this is an opportunity for not only the young kids, but the older kids and the older adults. These are things that they probably have never experienced before, because they said, we're too afraid to let you go. You're going to get lost. You're going to trip over something and break your arm. And so when opportunities come up, and if anybody's listening, especially the visual people, listen to what's going on, because this is what causes the growth in blind people. We're the same as anybody else. We can do anything that we put our minds to. All you have to do is train us. I've seen kids ride bikes, and you say, wow, how could that be? They do it. There's people that work for General Motors. I even know someone that does photography, blind. So when we have experience like this with the STEM and the real program, where you can get the kids out there, get them out there, let them see that they can do these things. There's the only thing that's going to hold you back is self, or a frightened parent. That's the way it is. A tier. I think you mentioned they was working with entrepreneurship with this program too.
Yes, sir. So the entrepreneurship was supposed to be a part of that, and then we did not get to do some of the things that we were planning to do. in the end, one of the issues that we had with the real program, everybody had every program. It's time. Time keeps moving on forward, whether you want it to or not. And
Right.
sometimes events just
Well, that's why we're gonna have it again next year. And when we have it,
really
we're
going
gonna,
to have it again next year.
right.
Yes. And we're going to have a lot more time, hopefully, so that we can be able to put in everything that we really wanted to put in, including the career fair. Where people were going to actually, go to different employers. They were going to get the idea of what an interview would be like with that employer, and how they would end up dealing with it, and the proper dress for it, and all of that information. And we were working on all of that, and some of that was done, but like I said, some of that we were not able to do just because of time constraints mainly.
Well, yeah, then too, this was the first one, so we kind of like, this was a big experiment. We learned a lot from it. We know what to do next time and
Absolutely.
what to do. But now there was something else. Now, the gala was just kind of like icing on the cake. This was not a part of the STEM program or the real program. This is something that was separate, that was put on for the Federation Genesee County chapter. And I believe everybody was everybody here?
Absolutely.
Yep. I was there as well.
I tell you what, they had the STEM program. The program, it was a success. Everybody enjoyed it, but they got to the gala, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
tell you what, you talking about top hats, black ties, tails. Look
Music.
out now!
And
the
it's stepping
music,
out.
It was stepping out tonight. What, Jerry? I got a picture with you,
No, it is.
and you made me look so good.
You made yourself look.
No. Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. Really pretty. A great thing. And Sheila did an outstanding job of coordinating the way that she did the program, because the program was not for the Federation of the Blind. She made sure that that program was to honor the dignitaries who were there. And, the MC was exceptional. And one of our featured speakers, their Father Time, was he was exceptional, but the program itself was just really, really impressive. And I'm always impressed whenever I get to be a part of what the Federation does.
That's what it's all about, having a good time, learning, meeting people. We had Dr. Hubert Massey that was there. He is a worldwide artist. He does, gonna say it wrong. What is, he works with, I can't think of the name of it.
I want to say terracotta, but
No, it's not terracotta. I don't want to insult the
I
man.
don't know. I know.
What was it again?
Terrazzo.
And what that is, it's they use, it's like they use sections, and they use it's like almost like a textured paint that they do. He's done one out in California, and as quiet as it might be kept, the largest one in the United States. You never will believe where it's at.
Here.
Right,
In
the
Flint.
Flint Institute of Art. California says that they have the biggest one. Oh no, we do. Nicole, were you there? What do you think about that gala? Did you get up and kind of shake it a little bit?
No. Didn't look as good.
Yeah, we had great food. How about,
The music, the
What-
food,
yeah,
the
what-
entertainment, the young men from, what was that group called? Who did the,
I'm sorry, I should have wrote this down.
I
Jason, you know all of it, Ryan.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, Ryan, there are a group of young men. They come out, they talk about themselves and they also did a performance. But what was so neat, they did a tribute to Dr. Massey. They took their time. they wanted them to talk, they wanted them just to say something about him and what he's done and his accomplishments. But each one of the young men took their time and they made a statement about him, and it was really nice. It was over the top. Were you were you at the gala too?
Nope, I wasn't there.
Well,
I
okay.
think I need to be though.
You should. You did something really good.
I think I need to
Steve,
be.
you enjoy yourself?
Oh, man.
I think you need to go.
Yeah. Oh, man, I certainly did. I certainly ate and drank there, and I guess one highlight out of the gala I just could not get out of my head was you, Leo, have the gift of a voice, man. You could really sing, and that just really struck a very nice chord. And I've heard people sing, but not as good as you, but not as good as you did, man. You sung a really deep emotional song, and I liked it very much.
That was an MP3 file.
Yo,
Cheryl, were you there?
Oh, I was there.
Yeah, have your
I
fun.
was there. Well, let's put it this way. When you went to the STEM program, you got the gene. When you went to the gala, you got the gentry.
Look at
Had the music, we had the food, we had the class, we had the dignity, not to show off. But we also had enough light-footedness to enjoy life, and that's what it was all about.
Yeah, we had the mayor, the Flint mayor was here, Sheldon Neely. He was here. We had a proclamation from the governor. It was, for the STEM program, real program, this gala, all this was a first. It was a first. And you know something? It won't be right. It will not be the last. And both of them was such a success. You were there too, weren't you, Atier?
Yes, I was at both. I mean, of course, I was at the real program, but yes, I was at the gala as well.
You said you want to make a comment or something about it?
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, there are definitely, for a first time organized gala, it was a very, very well done gala. The feedback that was received about it was mostly positive. And we did actually put out a feedback form to our, real participants, both volunteers and students. And they all actually filled it out, and they gave us some really good feedback to use for the future. They gave us feedback about the gala, and they gave us feedback about the event, and we're taking all of that feedback to heart. And a lot of it was things that we also were thinking of basically changing or doing. So thank you very much for confirming that we're mostly on the right track.
Yeah.
But yes, the gala was really great. Father Time, I'm going to also chime in and say you did have an exceptional performance. And yes, Rhyme was phenomenal. The whole thing was it was really well done.
Yeah, and just because I want everybody to know all of our sponsors that we had, we were able to meet our goal and surpass it. Sheila, Felicia, I, and the whole group had a hand in what happened. So I personally want to applaud all of y'all and thank you for this. Now, after we were on a roll. I tell you what. Matter of fact, the guy behind the camera, Jason, he was there too, and he cleaned up pretty good. So anyway, but then after that, we had a picnic. Federation of the Blind. We had a picnic.
We did.
And out at the UAW field, UAW baseball field. And we had a bunch of vendors out there, and we even had a tug of war.
No, yeah, that was great.
They had a scavenger hunt. You probably said, well, how can you have a scavenger hunt with blind? We used textures and things, different directions. They go by and they went through a little path in the woods, found things. And matter of fact, no one got lost. So that was a big good thing. Who, everybody was at the picnic?
Yeah.
I loved
Yeah.
it so much.
You missed, boy, you just missed, was it Cheryl, right? No,
I didn't get
No,
to go either.
Liz, you missed it.
I'm missing out on all the
You
fun stuff.
missing out on all of this, boy, I tell you what, you gotta get a hold of you earlier next year. Gee, Rick.
This is a theater. I also unfortunately missed the picnic, but it does sound like it was a wonderful
You were,
event.
you know, it was a long drive for you, and if, you know, well, we didn't have any drinks, so, but you'd have made it back okay.
No drinks? I mean, it's okay. I would have brought my own and shared.
So anyway, somebody say something about the picnic. Who wants to say something about it?
I do, Stephen Crouch, and yeah, they also, in the pavilion area where we ate, there was this group of djembe players actually that came out, and and I was there for like a part of the picnic, and I strolled over to where the djembe players were, and I actually got for 13 to 15 minutes, got to sit right behind them and play their drums also for about 13 to 15 minutes. So yeah,
Tell the people what they were at, African drummers.
I think they were African drummers. I think so. I forgot what they're called, but yeah. But yeah, it was a great time. I did record it, so yeah. But man, was it fun? I got to eat and hang out a lot. So yeah, unfortunately, I believe they had a karaoke, but unfortunately, I missed that part.
Yeah, we had it.
You believe they had a karaoke? Man, they had a karaoke.
They turned it out.
Yeah, I missed that.
Cheryl,
I would have sung that.
Cheryl, were you there?
very
You
well.
were there, weren't you?
With Nick.
Oh, you missed that one? Okay, well,
Well, there'll be another one.
there'll be another. We have it every year. This was our second one. You know, we're batting 100%. You know that the things we've been doing. Sean, you were there?
Yeah.
You have a
yeah.
good time?
Yes, I did. The scavenger hunt was very well organized. I really liked it a lot. I went on that because I thought it'd be something cool to do, and that was like I already said, very well organized. Felicia did a very good job. Because you know it was pretty cool. I think sometimes some sighted individuals they have said to me, you know, man, I'd be so scared if I was blind, something around those lines. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And so what happened was, to explain myself better, was the sighted individuals who were there, they had to put on blindfolds.
Yeah.
So then Felicia assisted them in using the cane properly. And so they actually walked through the woods, and it was a very, very nice experience. I think it would. I think it was. I think it would be fair to say, excuse me, that it would probably be a very eye-opening experience as well.
Oh, eye-opening. You're your funds.
That comes.
Okay. So, Jerry, were you there?
I was not there.
You weren't there. Nicole, you weren't you?
No,
You weren't? Oh my goodness, y'all missed out on that. Mark it in your calendar for next year. Yeah, it was, I think everybody that was there probably gained about 2 or 3 pounds. We had hamburgers, hot dogs, ice cream, we had a lot of pop to
Chips.
drink, yeah, chips, everything that you can imagine on the picnic. That was another success that we had. And so this is, like I said, these things are happening right within a small period of time, where we're just letting everybody know what we're capable of doing. And the ones that's been putting this on, these are people that are totally blind, or just have very, very little vision. And I emphasize that because when they see us out there working, it's hard for them to believe that these people are blind and visually impaired, because they have this stigma about us. And this is something that the Federation is slowly breaking, that stigma about blind people.
What people have to remember about blind people is what we lack in visual acuity, we have insight. So just because we cannot see necessarily clearly what's in front of us, we know how to handle it. We know how to deal with it, and we know how to interact. You know, so people need to, we have to help people to understand, we're not, don't be afraid of us because we can't see. Because we have so many other reasons to be afraid of us.
Yeah.
But, we are very capable and
Very
everything we've done and will do, you know.
Yeah, I like what you said, and then people have to, I don't more afraid, they don't know how to interact with us.
They don't know how to do it.
They really don't, because they're afraid they're gonna offend us, and most of the time they do, but we don't tell them.
Yep.
But now, we've been to Texas, we done been through the STEM program, we had a gala, we had a picnic, and now the next upcoming event, the Crim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, we've been on I've been talking about a lot of firsts, and what it is, and this is another first with the Federation. We are the first blind team that has ever been with the Crim in how many, 30 years? Somewhere along that?
We're coming up, this is year 46.
46.
Year 46 for the Crim, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I lost out about
Yeah, there's something about the road to 50.
yeah, 46 years. So in 46 years, we are the first group, blind group that's ever walked in the Crim. And everybody that's sitting at this table is a participant, even the person behind the camera. So that's going to be August the 26th.
Yep.
Starting at 8 o'clock in the morning.
The early birds.
Why, I don't know. But we have someone here that's going to talk about it. And then also have our, oh my God, she is brutal. She's our trainer. She's been pushing us. She gets out there and has a stretching and crying and pleading.
Right.
And more tears the more tears we share, the more smile that she has. But don't tell my business. But I tell you what, we really appreciate it because she's really helping us. I've been really active in my life, but I haven't walked that far in a long time. But yeah, and I thank you too, because she's really been doing a great job. We have other people there that's helping us. Even Sheila's done it, and Felicia Bradford, Jason Bias, he's another one that's helping us, giving us a hand in it. Crystal, yes. So there's a lot of people that's helping us. And Jason, we really appreciate him. I got him winded one day, but he faked it and said, let's not go down the whole block, let's turn here. But anyway, you want to tell us a little bit about the Crim?
Yeah, so we're in our 46th year for the Crim. We feature a 1 mile race Friday night. We have 5K, 5 mile and 10 mile race. And the training programs start in May. So it is a 15-week program. So you guys have been working hard now, like 14 weeks. It's hard to believe the Crim is in a week and a half.
It don't seem like
It does. It seems it just flew right on by. So back, May 9th, it launched. The program launched for the training program. And again, this is the first year we've had the visually impaired group. And we're so excited you guys are here. How many people is this their first Crim?
Yep.
I think
I love it.
is this all of us the first Crim?
Yes.
Your first?
Very, very first Crim?
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of firsts, this is, who started the Crim? Was it
Bobby Crim.
Bobby Crim?
Yeah, Bobby Crim, yeah. So it originally started as a race for the Special Olympics. And I've heard the first.
Wait a minute, this was for the Special Olympics?
That's where the Crim
And it
started, yeah.
evolved to this?
Yep, so we evolved, the race kept growing, and then we became a full-fledged nonprofit serving, the health and well-being of Genesee County and the city of Flint. But again, it started as a little race back in 1977. I've heard the first race started at noon, and I think 700 people signed up, and around 500 end up finishing because it was so hot that day.
Yeah.
So we have now moved to start earlier, and now we try to beat that heat.
So, how many other groups are participating? I know there's a lot of different groups that actually run it. Do they do things like do jumping jacks and? Yeah.
I think, everyone has to stretch before. We have in the training program around 1,200 people right now. We have
1,000.
1,200 people this year. It's amazing.
That's in the training
in
program.
the training
That's
program.
not just the people, that's not the one.
And then in the race, total between all the distances, we typically will have between 8,000 and 10,000 people.
So you went from
participating.
700 to almost 10,000 people.
Yep.
Wow,
Isn't that amazing?
that is so
It is.
amazing.
It's amazing. And we also have an American Sign Language training group as well too.
Mm.
That was the first year we had that. They started, I think, with 20 people their first year, and now they're up to almost 70 people in that group.
Wow. Well, Gary, who is the couple that's been walking the race? I can't remember their names.
Tiffany and Charles.
You know, when they are glued to the hip. They are a very sweet couple. They really are. When we first started, and it was a couple of them that started only do like a quarter of a mile, but they came back every week, and now they're doing 2.5 miles. That's, you know, when you stop and look at it, you know, this is another thing. You know, this is part of the National Federation of the Blind philosophy. We expect you to do what you're capable of doing. We have people that advocate for us. That's how we got the talking stoplights. We, the National Federation of the Blind, Genesee County chapter, we went down to City Hall. We had a meeting with Mayor Neely. We brought all the information. We brought all the statistics. We let him know that believe it or not, there are blind people in Genesee County. We let him know what was going on, the problems that we have, just crossing streets and other things. He listened to us. He went to Mott. He got a $72,000 grant. Now, this did not take a year. It did not take 6 months. It took less than 6 weeks for him to do it. They're already redeveloping downtown Flint, and he got it. And I guess within about 6 weeks, they've got the money and they're starting it. This is because of the National Federation of the Blind. We believe that anything that you have in your mind, you can accomplish it. We know that, you know, everybody might think this is a disability. It's an excuse to sit down. I look at a disability as a reason to get up. Because when you use that and you see that you can overcome what everybody else is saying that you can't, you not only prove it to them, but you prove it to yourself. We are an individuals, and every one of us has a problem. It might not be noticeable, it might be mental, it might be whatever physical, but each of us, we overcome. If you never tell a blind person they're blind, they would never know it. They would live their life just like anybody else. Until they say you're blind, they go, what is that? We had Alice D on there. When she was young, she was climbing on top of the roof. Mother said, get down before she falls. I was with a kid one day down in Kalamazoo, went to the apple farm. He's totally blind. He's climbing apple trees. It was nighttime. The lady said, get down off that apple tree. You can't see up there, it's night. I said, he's blind. That's normal.
Well, if he's blind, he can't see anyway.
Right,
So
but the point I'm getting at, that's not a handicap to us. What handicaps us is people. Allow us to do what we do. This is part of what the Federation wants to let people know. This is why I'm really glad that we are doing things with visual people, because we are really opening their eyes to let them see that we can actually function. And once they get these cars, these self-driving cars, I do believe we're going to be driving too.
watch out, everybody.
But, you know, and also, you know, like I said, we have a good advocacy program. If you have any types of problems or anything like that, you come to us. We find resources for people. If you have a problem, you want to learn how to get around, you need a cane, anything you need, you come to us and we'll give you a phone number, a direction in which to go. Everything that has happened here with the Federation, all these people that you see here is because of what we've been doing. And this has been done by low vision blind people. The decorations at the Flint Institute of Art was done by blind. The balloon columns were done by a blind person. You say, well, how did they get all the colors together? They said, give me a red balloon, give me a green balloon. They put it where they wanted. We got a mind, we can see that. The creme race, we might need some help. Some of us might need some help. Some of us gonna be attached to somebody.
Yep.
And what do you call this? A guide?
Tether.
A tether. They'll be tethered, but matter of fact, the person that we tethered to, they have to be a better runner than what we are, because if not, we'll leave them and we'll be dragging them.
That's the truth.
Yep.
So,
That is
and there
so
it is
true.
again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ironic. Here we are, the blind dragging a visual. And it's usually they say, well, come on with the blind, but that just shows you what we can do. We just like anybody else. If a person didn't have one arm, he learns how to use the other one. If he only got one leg or no legs, he knows how to use those. We might not have any eyes, but I tell you what, the gift that we do have, look out, buddy. Don't stand in our way. So when you see, don't handicap us. Don't set us aside like we don't know what we're doing. Give us a chance, or we'll take the chance. We've got people now that's doing all types of works, all types of jobs. And it's because of the federation, because of what we put in them, because of the encouragement. I get encouraged by being around you. His brother, Jeff, correct?
Yep.
He's got a CNI dog. And he was dragging the CNI dog. He didn't need it. And I'm thinking, wow, that's unreal. Sheila, if you ever see her, she comes into a room and she thinks she's got 20/20 vision. She's just adjusted. I want to be like Sheila. Felicia Bradford, Blink the Miles Bradford, my sidekick. She's got a job. She's doing it up. And I think, I don't know, anybody, and we cannot allow people to hold us back. Live the life that you want to live. And with the Federation helping you, you can do it. Anybody else got any more comments about anything?
Well, actually, my brother uses a cane instead of a dog.
Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry.
Well, then whose dog was he dragging?
This was
I think nobody's dog.
that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah. That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He had a guide dog, and now he's using a cane.
Yeah, it's just the guy dog couldn't keep up with him.
Eh.
You want to say anything else about the Crim or Jerry?
I do, because there's a couple of really cool things that have been coming out of this whole 15-week process.
Mm.
And it, especially, and the two people I walk with the most would be, Steve and Sean. And Steve, if you want to talk about the other races, because the Crim,
Yes.
during the Crim training, they have all of these races along the way. And the only extra race I was able to do was the Reads Across America race,
Correct.
July 20th in Flushing.
Mm.
And Steve and his mom, Michelle,
Yep.
and Sean and the four of us did that race. And Steve's mom, Michelle, has been doing the Crim for a number of years. And once Steve, was able to train a bit, now him and his mom are beating records.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about that, and Sean, I think, are you gonna end up running the Crim, the 5K, or?
So I really want to, so that's why I will be tethered to my dad and doing a very fast walk, actually. And thank you. So actually there's another Crim race that Steve and I actually attended, and that was called the Great Pizza Challenge.
Yep.
And that was a 5K.
Yeah.
So if you guys still have your vouchers, use them.
Yeah, I am. I'm involved with it and some other activities because I was hoping that I could get involved with it too, with this. I wrestle professionally, and I am the only blind professional wrestler in the United States at this particular time. And I had thought about giving it up for a while, but because of the federation and the encouragement that I got, I'm going to do it a little bit longer. So I'm really impressed. I had no idea that Steve and Sean are doing the other races. You guys keep it up to yourself. I'd have been talking about it earlier. Why'd you tell me?
Yeah,
Share me?
yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, that would have been something I could have brought up.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
Well, hey,
so
the
Atir,
cameras are still rolling.
Atir, do you have anything else you might want to say?
No, I've just been listening to the conversation here and just kind of you know, really, just kind of getting into it.
All right, well, thank you. Anybody have any comments?
Well, yeah, as Stephen, I've done some additional races besides the Great Pizza Challenge. I've done the Great Pizza Challenge, Race Across America. I've done the Scoop the Loop, the
You're at Atwood.
the Scoop the Loop one. I've done the Scoop the Loop one, the Kettering Atwood, and I have done the Kayla O'Mara. And so far out of it, I've got like 3 or 4 medals out of it, which is amazing. Yeah,
Okay, and
yeah, it's amazing.
Nicole?
Yes.
Did you want to say anything else about anything what you've done? All right, then, well, I guess we're gonna wrap this up.
What you wanna remember, folks, is when being blind, it doesn't close doors and windows. You don't have to stop doing what you do, you just learn to do it different.
There you go. I like that. I guess that's a good way to close it. I'd like to thank Atir and everybody that came here today. And we'll be back again next month, same time, same YouTube channel. And the only thing I'm gonna say is, see you later.
See ya.
Thank you for having me.